Hi there. I'd like to show you how to do the cow catcher. This is a challenging object to actually draw, so we'll have some fun with this. We've got a lot of dimensions that we'll be looking at and trying to figure this out. What we're going to basically do is the bottom, and then we will do an offset plane and do the top, and then we will loft the two together and then just finish it off. I may do two videos. We'll see how this goes and how long it takes. All right, so let's go ahead. I'm going to slide this on over to my other monitor so I can take a look at that and go ahead and get Autodesk Inventor up and running. This is what it should look like when it's all said and done. All right, so let me get rid of that. We'll go with projects, make sure your name is checked, and it is. We'll go new, English, standard, and create. Start the 2D sketch, XY plane, and that will actually be important that you use the XY plane. Okay, so we'll just start out with just a simple line. And let's see, on those dimensions, the line is 1.80, enter, and escape. Let me slide that up just a little bit. And from that line, we'll want to go up 0.25 on each side. We'll go up 0.25 on each side and escape. And then we will want to establish a point from which to draw these two other lines. And so we'll just put a point there. It does pop up in the center, but we'll make sure and dimension that either way. So we'll go from here to there, and that should be 0.900, which it is. And we'll also want to dimension it from the top to the bottom. And that needs to be, let me take a look here, from the top to the bottom. On that is 1 inch. 1 inch. And now we just need to draw a line, two lines from here to there, and then down to there. Make sure it turns green on the edges or on the ends of the lines. Then we'll finish the sketch. And then I'm going to show you something we have not done before. We're going to go over and click on this plus next to origin, click on the plus, and then come down and choose the XY plane. Okay, now from there we can actually do an offset plane, and that needs to be offset, and I actually made a mistake doing this earlier, but that needs to be offset by 0.75. 0.75. And then hit enter. Okay, good. So we have that offset plane at 0.75, and we do want to create a sketch on that plane. And I think it is important as well, we want to project geometry. This line and this line and this line will be helpful for the drawing that we're going to do. Okay, so the first thing we want to do is establish a point on this bottom line. So we put a point on the line, and then we're going to establish it so it's in the right location. And that needs to be from either side, that needs to be 0.30. And I'm pretty sure that's right because it's 120 and that's 180. That would be 60, 0.60. And half of that would be 0.3. So that's good. So we will accept that. And then we're going to do a line from that. And that needs to be 1.2. And then hit enter. That looks good. And then straight up from that line, we'll want to go 0.25. And the same for the other side. let's see here, 0.25, and then hit enter. Now we do want to establish another point up here. Now it does give us a center line, but we can just double check and make sure that's right. So we'll go ahead and dimension from there to there. 0.6 is good. So now we just need to get the right dimension up and down. So we'll click here and there, and we'll slide that on over. And that dimension, let me take a look at what we've got on the top. That is 0.75, 0.75, and then hit enter. And now it's just a matter of creating those two lines. Make sure it turns green. There we go, that turned green as well. And then we're going to finish the sketch. So you can see that we have two drawings, one here and one there. Now what we're going to do is loft material from one drawing to the next. And this is pretty interesting. We've done this once before. So we're going to hit that. That will select this object, and then we need to click right here, click to add, and then choose the other sketch, and that looks good, and then click OK. And you can see how that's lofted that. And then we're going to go ahead and I'm going to right click on that and then get rid of the visibility so that we can see it better. But you can see how this is already starting to turn into the cow catcher. And so what we're going to do next is we'll go ahead and shell out the bottom of it, and I believe it is at 0.1, so that is correct. Click on the bottom and then click OK. And you can see that that is shelled out, and that's looking really good. And so I guess I may as well just keep on going and show you how to make the indentations on the two fronts and then put the two on the back. So we'll create a sketch right here, and we'll make a line just anywhere. We're going to trim that off later on and get them in the right place. And we'll do so. We're just doing 4 basically random lines, and we'll trim those off. But once we have the lines, and we want to make sure that they are parallel to the lines they need to be parallel to. So we'll hit the parallel, click there and there, there and there, there and there, there and there. Okay, so now those lines are parallel to the right place. Now we need to move them over so they're at the right location, and that needs to be 0.1. And you can find that on the dimensions on the drawing given. That needs to be 0.1. They all need to be 0.1, so we'll just go around and make sure they're at 0.1 and 0.1. There we go. So now it's just a matter of trimming off what we don't need. So we'll get rid of these extra lines that are unnecessary. But that parallel tool really does work well. There we go. So we'll finish the sketch. We'll go to extrude, and we can choose the shape, but we need to cut, and that needs to be, I believe it's 0.05, half the distance of the shell. Okay, and then click OK, and you can see that turned out pretty decently. It does not go all the way through. It just has indentation there. So we'll do the exact same thing on this side. We'll create a sketch. Nice. And we'll draw the 4 lines. And I like to hit escape between each line. It's just kind of a habit I've gotten into. Seems like it kind of clears it out and it works better. So if you want to try that, that's great. I'm just drawing these lines fairly random, actually, just, close to where it needs to be. And then I'll make them parallel. And make sure to choose the right line you want it parallel to. And then we will dimension each one at 0.1. There we go, 0.1. And that's 0.1. Here, there, and that's 0.1 as well. So that looks good. We'll finish the sketch. Oh, forgot to trim it off. We'll go back, we'll trim it off. Trim off the things that we don't need. Got ahead of myself there just a little bit. We'll finish that sketch and we'll extrude that out. We're going to actually cut, choose the shape, and it's already at 0.050, so that's good. We've got those two indentations done. Now all we really need to do is put the 3 knobs on the back, and this is a little bit challenging. So we'll create a sketch on the back of it, and we will just establish, we'll just put 3 points close to where they need to be, and then we will dimension them to the right place. Now, it is difficult to dimension to this point, so I believe it's helpful to just draw a line from that point. It turns green. We'll just a short line up. So we have something to dimension from. And so we will click here, click there, and that dimension needs to be 0.900, hit enter, and it also needs to be from here down to there. That needs to be, and I will need to take a look at, that needs to be 0.625 and hit enter. So that puts it in the right location. Now we can use that point to dimension the other points left and right, and that needs to be at 0.625 as well. And then we'll do this point to this point, and we'll make that 0.625. So they're equal distance apart from each other. And so now we just need to get the right height up and down from there to there. I believe that is 0.125, and enter. And we'll do the same right here. A little bit hard to see, 0.125, and that puts them in the right place. So now we'll want to make a circle at each point, and that circle needs to be 0.125, and make sure it turns green, 0.125, and we'll do the same right here. We'll go 0.125 and hit enter and escape. So we have all the little knobs, I guess you could say, in the right spot. So we will want to extrude them out, and we'll want to extrude them out a distance of, I believe it's 0.125. Let's see. Yes, that is correct. 0.125. And let's select the there, and there, and click OK. So we have those done. The only other thing that they asked us to do is chamfer the edges, and they want that to be a distance of 0.01, and we'll catch this edge. In theory, this will make it easier to slide into the slots. Okay, so we'll hit OK, and basically that is all there is to it. We have completed the cow catcher. So let's go ahead and save that. Yeah, you don't want to have to redo all that work. So we'll say cow catcher, let's say 2. And then we'll save it. I hope that's helpful. If you have any questions, of course, please let me know. Have a great day. Bye.